is Noor Hussein Saeed Zulfikar, matrix number 2229427. This is my presentation on Ziauddin Sardar's book, American Dream, Global Nightmare. So as you can see, I'm doing a presentation here. We were meant to do it in a classroom, but all the classrooms were locked when people are not having class there, and we can't exactly go in the classroom when people are having class there because they'll disturb and stuff. So I just got back from a competition, so I wasn't able to go today because I had a competition for the whole of today and yesterday, and also I'm going to work the whole day tomorrow, so I'm not going to be able to do it tomorrow. So yeah, this is going to have to do. So starting with the presentation on the book by Ziauddin Sardar. It's called American Dream, Global Nightmare. So first I start off with the background and the author. So Ziauddin Sardar was born on the 31st of October 1951 in Pakistan, and when he was very young he moved to the UK, and he grew up in the UK and lived quite a portion of his life there and studied there, and when he was young he faced racism and bullying, which helped shape his worldview. He eventually became a lecturer in university, and he also worked in journalism, and he was even invited to Malaysia to be an advisor for Anwar Ibrahim. And yeah, if you can see my slides, you'll see a few pictures of him, but I'll send those separately. And okay, next is a little background about the book. So the book was published the same year I was born, which might explain why I didn't really feel any relevance to the book. Like, I didn't really find it very interesting. But it was published the same year I was born, 2004, and the whole text is essentially him disliking the American worldview and trying to convince readers to try and save themselves from it, and in a way it's portrayed as like quite an evil entity. And the book was not written just by Ziauddin Sardar. It was co-authored by Merrill Wynne Davis, and the book proposes that the American worldview consists of 10 main concepts or laws, which I will discuss now. The first law is the law of the market. The second is the law of American innocence. The third is the law of technological evangelism. And let me just move the slides. Fourth is the law of civilization. Fifth is the law of the frontier. Sixth is the law of fear. Seventh is the law of leadership. And let me move the slides again. Eighth is the law of manifest destiny. Ninth is the law of the free individual. And 10th is the law of the universal gospel. And now I will move the slides again, and I will give you a little definition on each one. Okay. So firstly, the law of the market. So basically this is essentially capitalism. So monetary value is the biggest and main and only value that anything really has. So the measure of your success, and basically the measure of everything, is its monetary value. The second law, move the slides again, is the law of American innocence. So basically this law promotes that America is a very good entity and it is unable to commit any wrong. No matter what it does, it is justified and noble, no matter what America does. Like, for example, the bomb in Hiroshima was justified because the Japanese bomb Pearl Harbor, and then that whole war after 9/11 was justified because 9/11 happened, and basically that's kind of how it works. That America is all good and can't do any wrong. Next is the law of technological evangelism, which basically, similarly to how early Christians used Christianity as an excuse to invade the world and do very horrible things, and they literally killed off like almost 2 whole continents in the name of spreading this great thing called Christianity. Similarly, the US wants to spread technology, so if they do something in the name of spreading technology to technologically inferior countries, then it could be justified in their eyes. So yeah. Next is the law of civilization. So The law of civilization is basically that America believes its civilization is the pinnacle of civilization. So all other civilizations should seek to emulate and try to be like the American civilization, like the culture of America is the culture that all countries should strive to be like. Yeah. Next is the law of the frontier. The law of the frontier is basically they believe in constantly expanding their borders, not just like making America bigger, but like they want to go to new places, they want to explore the moon, want to like just expand their influence in general, including markets. They want to be at the head of all the markets, they want to be at the head of all the technology, they want to be like the head of everybody. Next is the law of fear. So the law of fear is quite an interesting one. So some examples of this would be as I mentioned earlier, the bomb in Hiroshima, which is when they said that look how scary these people are, they bombed Pearl Harbor, so we're justified in bombing them back and they made everyone scared of them so that everyone thought they were justified in it. And the same thing with the whole 9/11 and Bin Laden stuff, where they made everyone scared and then they were justified in doing what they do. Next is the law of leadership, where America will portray itself as the leader of the free world, and it will claim a moral and political right to guide and to control everyone else, if that makes sense. And next is the law of manifest destiny, which believes it has a divine mission to spread its values and way of life, even if it has to use force, which is once again similar to the Christian example that I gave earlier, where the Christians believed that it was their divine destiny to spread Christianity all across the world. Doesn't matter the consequences, doesn't matter who dies. In a similar way, the author of this book argues that America wants to do the same thing. Next is the law of the free individual, where individualism is valued more than community. Basically, the individual would value themselves over valuing the good of the whole community. And just lastly is the law of the universal gospel. Can I just talk about that? Anyway, so basically the law of the universal gospel is there's like a set of principles that are valued very highly according to Sada in American society, and basically as many people as they can, it's best for them to get as many people as they can to follow that worldview, kind of similar once again to the Christian example of spreading the gospel over. Okay, so that's the 10 laws. So next, another concept that Sada makes the claim of in his book is this thing that he calls American psychosis, which is basically, in his words, not mine, he calls American culture delusion and an imbalance between fantasy and reality. Which, yeah, that could be a bit offensive, but it's not my words. And he says some characteristics of this American psychosis is power, mythology, and paranoia. And it's basically a sleep of reason that he thinks America needs to function and to dominate. So like, people will just be like, oh, American culture, hamburgers, milkshakes, and then they'll just forget about everything. Yeah, that's what Sadler says. And then he believes that the whole goal of all of this stuff that we discussed, like the 10 principles and this psychosis thing, that the goal of it all is because they want to cause death, suffering, and perpetual fear, and to increase the divide between the rich and the poor. He basically believes that they're just bad and they just want to make wars and hurt people. And yeah, that's basically what he believes. And if you could see my slides, you'd see some lovely examples of pictures, but you can't. But I'm sending them separately, so you will be able to, which is good, I guess. So now we're going to my personal opinion on this book. Basically, this book was just the author hating on America. He even tried to justify 9/11 in some parts of it. And it really surprised me. As someone who's so respected, like, that he even is called to be an advisor for a prime minister. But the book that he wrote, it really reads like it was written by like a child who got their toys taken away and they were jealous that their toys got taken away. And it was quite a boring book and I did not enjoy it. And he's not a very good author. And I would never want to read a book by him again. And yeah, that's it. That's all for my presentation. Bye.